In the death match today, we have two of the most popular horror icons of the last 40 years, Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. Myself, I'm a big fan of the slasher genre, always have been, and Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees are basically like the biggest horror icons. I mean, you have Freddy Krueger, Ghostface, Leatherface, but they pale in comparison to these mighty titans. I mean, their whole shtick is unkillable, unstoppable monsters. But in a head-to-head battle, who wins? The Shape, Michael Myers, or the mama's boy, Jason Voorhees? Let's find out. There's many different routes we could go here with saying who would win versus the other, because there's different versions of each character. A lot of death battle style videos often just have one generalized version of these characters, but as many horror fans will know, the Halloween franchise has multiple different timelines, and Jason has multiple different versions of himself as well. So we're gonna go through each different alternate version of the character and see which ones would fare against the others. Starting off with Michael Myers, we'll do the default regular Michael Myers. Even though there's multiple timelines in the Halloween series, Michael Myers throughout Halloween 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, and H2O and Resurrection, they're pretty much all the same. Even though Halloween, H2O, and Resurrection are in a different universe and take place after Halloween 1 and 2, he still basically has the same feats of strength and speed and durability as he does in 4, 5, and 6, where he has the thorn curse mark. Now, Michael Myers is a prodigy when it comes to killing. I mean, he did his first kill when he was like 6 years old. This guy has been at it for a while. He knows what he's doing. Not even counting his superior strength and durability, he's actually quite the tactician and strategist. We can assume he has an extremely high IQ. He definitely watches Rick and Morty. All throughout the first Halloween film, we see him stalking his prey throughout the day. He's not just some mindless killing machine, he's out there with a plan. Not only that, but he spent like 20 years in a mental facility and was immediately able to learn how to drive a car. His IQ must be so high that he's able to pick up new skills on the fly with little to no effort. And yeah, it's really not that hard to drive a car, but getting incarcerated at 6 years old, that is impressive. Throughout the films, Michael Myers has been shown to be able to manhandle pretty much anybody with ease. In Halloween 2, introducing his ability to basically just walk through a fucking door and hold someone completely up in the air by just a knife. He's able to shrug off multiple bullets like they're nothing, even taking 2 in the head. Even after Loomis creates an explosion right in front of him, he's still able to walk a few steps. And in Halloween 4, we find out he didn't die. He's still alive, so that explosion did jack shit to him. Not only that, but he took down an entire police force all by himself, John Wick style. But it was off screen, so that kind of sucks. He's also been gunned down by machine gun and shotgun fire, but this did send him into a coma for a year. He has enough strength to crush a man's skull, jab a shotgun straight through someone's body, and jam his thumb straight through someone's forehead. He's quite the force to be reckoned with. But let's move on to Jason. We'll start off with Alive Jason. Jason from Friday the 13th 1 through 4. Alive Jason, in terms of speed, is very fast. We see him running and chasing people. In terms of strength, he's shown feats on par with Michael Myers, but with a lot more ease. While Michael can shove his finger through someone's forehead, Jason can completely crush someone's head like a watermelon and make their eyeball shoot out of its socket. But in terms of durability, that's where we see a difference. In Friday 2 and 3, it's shown that whenever he gets stabbed or wounded in some way, it hurts him. If a little knife like that is able to make Jason incapacitated for a few seconds, what would a bullet do in these earlier movies? Now sure, he got stabbed in the head with an axe, but he was quickly knocked out after that. After that, in Friday 4, all it took was a few machete swings from a little kid, and then he died. In terms of speed and strength, he is above Michael, but in terms of durability, not so much. If we put these two beasts side by side in an epic battle, it's pretty much anyone's game. It's the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Michael Myers is slow, but that doesn't really matter when you're going up against somebody in a face-to-face fight. Sure, in terms of movement, he doesn't get very far, but that doesn't really matter when you're just swinging a knife around up close. The big deciding factor in this fight is strength versus durability. Now, Jason is probably a bit stronger than Michael, and would actually be able to do some heavy damage to Michael if he was able to grab him, but I think Michael might come out the victor in this battle because of his superior intellect. Because Michael does a far better job of analyzing his victims, he would do a better job in the fight versus Jason, who has basically the IQ of a chihuahua. I mean, he doesn't really show any sort of tactical awareness whatsoever in any of the original films, other than, oh, I see person, I chase person, I stab person. There really isn't much going on there. So in terms of a fight, Michael has a leg up in that situation, and the only real way Jason can win is if he's fast enough to grab Michael and crush him like a fucking twig. But Michael has the durability in his favor, so even if he was grabbed, it would still take a lot of effort from Jason to break him. I'm giving the first round to Michael. Next up, we have Undead Jason. In Friday Part 6, 7, and 8, we have a Undead Jason. After Jason got killed in Friday Part 4, a lightning strike through a metal pole brought him back Frankenstein style, and he became Zombie Jason, showing far greater feats of strength than ever seen before. I mean, he's basically a serial killer Superman at this point, able to rip a guy's arm completely off and throwing him several feet through the forest without even trying. This was an accidental feat of strength. He didn't even mean to do that. If he's able to completely rip someone's arm off and send them flying, his strength has to be in the level of like Luke Cage or some shit. Like, he is insane levels of strength here. He's actually able to shrug off multiple bullets like they're nothing. They don't seem to even affect him. While Michael was previously able to shrug off bullets in Halloween 2, those bullets actually did make him collapse. But in Friday 6, bullets seem pretty meaningless to him. His durability and strength are well beyond anything we've seen before in this fight. The only thing different now is his speed, and he's still fairly fast, shown to be speed walking throughout the film, and in Friday 8, shown to fucking teleport up a ladder to kill someone. I mean, Jesus, what the hell is this? He was shown also in Part 8, punching a guy's head completely off his body. So his strength and durability is absolutely insane, and his speed is a bit slower than it was before. I think the clear victory goes to Jason in this round. Even though Michael is smarter than Jason, he stands no chance against his godlike strength now. Let's change it up to a more even fight though. We have Reboot Jason, the Jason that appeared in the Friday the 13th made by Michael Bay's company. The Jason in this movie seems to be much smarter, setting up traps and underground passageways, showing much more skill in terms of maneuvering around his environment and being able to shoot a crossbow. Aside from that, his speed has a significant boost. Instead of lumbering around like a brute, he now sprints at high speeds after people. After he's got his sights on you, you're basically dead. His feats of strength, though, don't seem as high as they were before. This movie takes a more realistic route and it kind of focuses on the traps and weapons element of his character. Along with that, his durability seems a little down as well. He's able to be quickly killed at the end of the film by having his head shoved through a meat grinder thing? I don't know. If we put these two side by side, we have a much faster and potentially smarter Jason, but he has weaker strength and durability versus classic Michael, who has the strength and durability but slower speed. When it comes down to a close quarters fight between the two, Jason's speed would shine. He would be able to slash and dodge Michael much easier than Michael would be able to slash and dodge him. And Jason's higher intellect would allow him to put up a much more sophisticated fight than previous Jasons, maybe going towards specific weak points that previous Jasons wouldn't do. In terms of battle strategy, they'd probably be on par with each other. And despite Jason's speed, if Michael was able to grab a hold of him, that would basically be it for him. I think this fight is much closer than the original fight of classic Michael versus classic Jason, but I do still think Michael could come out the victor in this battle, although coming out of it much more battle damage than the first one. I'm gonna give this point to Michael. We also have Reboot Michael, which is a much bigger, much more imposing Michael than we've seen before. I mean, just look at his stature. He's like 7 feet tall, dude. His intellect may be lower, but he's also kind of shown to be faster in this movie too. In terms of a fight between Reboot Michael and Reboot Jason, I think Michael takes the cake with this one too. Because he's a bit faster than classic Michael and a bit stronger. That's definitely an automatic win for our boy Mikey.
Hey buddy, just give you a heads up. I got a Taco Deluxe Supreme talking back at me, so I'm gonna be a while. So do you mind waiting somewhere else and let me pass this beast in peace? Look, brother, if you're looking for some kind of action, you better take it on the arches before I'm done dropping this load. Or you gonna be one sorry a-hole. I see. What we got here fail to communicate. You just hold on, Daisy. I've got something for you. Let me introduce myself. I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch.
Three to 1, not looking good for our boy Jason. But we have another version of Jason, Jason X, or Uber Jason. In this movie, Jason was sent into space, at some point gets mutated with nanobots or something and becomes
Mega Uber Awesome Jason.
Having a body that's mostly made of a high-tech nanomaterial, he can now probably fight side by side with fucking Iron Man at this point. Machine gun fire now gets repelled off of his metal body. His speed is on par, if not maybe a little slower than his undead version, but that doesn't really matter because he's basically an unstoppable tank. If Michael tried to stab him, the knife would probably break on his practically vibranium armor. So it's clear that Uber Jason wins against both Reboot Michael and Classic Michael. The only question left, can Reboot Michael fight Undead Jason? In terms of strength, he does basically the same things as original Michael, but with a little extra ferocity and power behind it. I think if these two faced off, Michael would put up a fair fight. But on the other hand, Undead Jason's feats of strength just far outweigh Michael's. In terms of durability, they might be somewhat comparable, but in terms of overall strength, Jason can probably just punch straight through Michael's chest and end the fight then and there. And that's basically it. Jason gets to this point and it's 3 to 4. That was basically all the versions of Michael and Jason. Even though I am a big fan of Michael Myers over Jason Voorhees, it's undeniable that Jason has much more kills under his belt and much more impressive feats of strength. Michael may be the stalker and strategist, Jason is just a brute killing machine. Who else do you want to see go up against each other in the deathmatch? Leave it down in the comments below. If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. All my gaming videos are highlights pulled directly from there. I also have a webcomic. The link to that and my Discord are in the description below. See you next time!